as we are in Canada and we are in the middle of winter, we cannot ride our motorcycles and try them, but we have an even more extreme test, as we have, can you tell that? Yeah, as we have minus 18 degrees, and believe me, it feels way cooler than that. So that's like the perfect opportunity to test how warm these guys actually get. So I'm wearing the KEMIMOTOs and Annie's wearing the SNOWDEER. And as we will explain in a couple of seconds, we have different settings that we can turn them up to. So 3 different heat settings basically. So depending on how cold it really gets for you. So for all kind of heated gloves or gloves in general for motorcycle gear related kind of things, waterproof, wind tight, warm and cozy, and a little bit of protection are pretty much really good requirements to have. Both gloves do have that. So far I must say these are super warm and cozy and comfortable, even super fluffy inside, and my nose is definitely colder than my fingers right now. So that's a definitely bonus. Okay, let me try the other ones. And now I have enormous giant heads. These are Andy's, so that's why they're so big on me. But I want to show you also the SNOWDEER ones and the first impression. Super first impression, just even by switching these 2 gloves. These seem to be a little bit warmer than the KEMIMOTOs. But it also could be that Andy just has hotter hands from the get-go, I'm not sure. One super cool thing is these guys do have little visor cleaners. So if it's raining or snowing, you just do doop doop. It cleans your visors very nicely for you. So remember, in like the rainy days and you're outside and still want to ride and you just try to clean your visor, but it's not working, this will help with that. Hopefully. The SNOWDEER also do have 3 different temperature settings. Yeah, I must say I like them a lot. They also seem to look a little bit more motorcycle-like. A little bit more buckle protection and all of these things. But again, these are a little bit too big for me. But because it is minus 18 degrees, feels like minus 26 or such, and I'm freezing my bum off. Let's go inside and look actually at the specs a little bit closer. And boom, we're in the office. Okay, let's compare the facts actually on these 2 type of gloves. And for that, let's jump onto the screen here real quick. So both of these gloves we bought off Amazon. And let's start on the KEMIMOTO ones. Mine, so the first ones. They're a little bit lighter, a little bit not quite as heavy and structured as the SNOWDEER ones. However, that comes with a price also. So these guys are at $119.99 before tax Canadian. So actually pretty reasonable for heated gloves. And both of these gloves, like both sets, do come with 2 batteries each. So you cannot have a battery pre-charged and taken with you. It's just a one set that comes with it. Apparently, when we go to the next spec, I mean, I already told you guys, we have 3 settings, so depending on like how high you want or like how warm you want to have these gloves, they will last longer or not quite as long. So for the KEMIMOTO ones, they claim that if you put them on a very high setting, they can last 3 to 4 hours. If it's a very low setting, 7 to 8 hours. Personal experience so far, the low setting is really not doing much. Well, okay, to be fair, also it had like minus 20 degrees, right? So, fair point to that. I think if you're riding and it has like 10 degrees and you just need a little extra boost, might still work out great. They also say they are waterproof and windproof, and definitely yes they are. We tried them with little snowball fights, shuffling through the snow, playing and talking with Lona. All of that was no problem at all, and I couldn't feel anything within my gloves except of the cold after a while still, and the battery died and all these things, but doesn't matter. So yeah, windproof and waterproof, check, yeah, for sure. I mean, again, same thing. We couldn't test them actually while riding because we had snow on the ground. But we definitely will see as soon as we can pick the bikes back up. As soon as we can pick the bikes back up. A lot of beats. To see how wind tight they actually are. But I can see like that this is actually pretty true. And one very important thing that was important to us was that we can still control our touch screens with it. Just when you're on the bike, you want to change directions, or you're looking for GPS, we want to be able to touch it without taking the gloves off and back on, right? So that also works out actually pretty good. And here just shows on how it actually connects the battery. So you have the little external pocket here that you can slide it in. So it's accessible from the outside, not the inside of the glove. And that's the difference to the SNOWDEER one, which I will show you guys in a second. They're all rechargeable, so the batteries come with an actual charger. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Found them. Alright, so one charger basically, and it automatically comes with 2 ends so that you can charge both batteries at the same time with only one plug. Pretty handy. It gives you measurements also on like how big you should order these gloves. I must say for both gloves, we both would have wished we would have ordered a size smaller. So we actually did. We're just waiting for them to arrive. But based on the measurements, they seem still a little bit on the big side. So just order maybe one smaller than you think you should. Just a little recommendation. Okay, and then the other ones. These fellas. They have a little bit more protection and are, in my opinion, a little bit more specialized towards riding with motorcycles. And you can just feel it, like the bag here that is just supposed to go over your jacket is a little bit longer, it's a little bit deeper, a little bit more adjustable, so that no cold air is coming through your jacket, which is definitely a bonus. But also with a little bit more protection and a little bit more gear and a little bit of a more sturdy build, it comes with a price tag. So they are $189.99 before tax, again Canadian. So they're a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion worth it. Just a little spoiler alert right there. They claim on the very high side that they only last like 2 to 2.5 hours. And on the low setting 6 to 6.5 hours. However, their low setting is pretty much almost as warm as on the other one's high setting. So they get warmer, and they are warmer, and they're a little bit more fluffy inside. Just have a little bit of a cozier felt inside. So these guys are a little bit warmer, like even with the lower settings. Actually, the maximum height, you can tell, like 140 to 150 Fahrenheit for the high setting on these guys. The KEMIMOTO ones, they say on the high side 140 to 150 also, but it definitely doesn't feel like it. So I'm not sure if that is that true. Even if it is, no, they still feel definitely warmer. So I have not tested it with actually measuring the temperatures in them, but just feeling wise, SNOWDEER ones definitely feel warmer. And yeah, like mentioned before, the little like screen wipers and visor wipers for sure, definitely bonus, because nothing worse than like trying to get the water and the rain off your visor and it's not really working. So definitely a big bonus, together with like a little bit of leather details here and there, knuckle protection. Like build and structure wise, the SNOWDEER ones are, in my opinion, just a little bit more worth it. But again, costs more money, so just see what you feel like. But same thing with the measurements. Like the measurements they have on the chart there, still a little bit on the big side. So same thing, we had to order a size smaller on these guys. No wait, even 2 sizes smaller. We ordered 2 sizes smaller just to see. But yeah, like same thing. Measure and then still go on the smaller side, because they also feel a little bit big. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to make sure you have like as much control and like feeling in your hands as possible with these heavy gloves, you want to make sure they're nice, snug and tight, but not too tight. Hope that makes sense. The SNOWDEER are also waterproof and windproof, And again, we played in the snow and snowball fights and like tackling and playing with Luna, always no problem at all. So definitely can't sign on that one. Sorry if I sound like a broken wheel, but again, we can't test on writing just yet, but it's coming. But I can see that they're also relatively wind tight for sure. And then they're also like good to go with the phone screens. Because same thing, make sure that we can like adjust the GPS if we have to. Like all of that still works also. Let me know in the comments down below if you have one of these two type of gloves as well and what you think. Or if you have a different kind of heated glove and heated setup that you think might even be better, and share it all with me, because we're always looking for new gear, the better gear, get the whole spiel as much as we can, right? But yeah, that's about it for now for that little review video right here between the two kind of gloves, the KEMIMOTO's and the SNOWDEER heated glove setup. If you like what you saw and you want to see a little bit more of the gear review kind of content, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet, because you don't want to miss the next videos, right? Between gear review, riding the beautiful Okanagan, and exploring more of the beautiful landscape of Canada. You don't want to miss any of that. And then we will see each other in the next video for sure. Until then, ride safe if you can, otherwise have fun, and see you in next week's video. Bye!